Hi, everybody. This is Saad. Some of you may have heard me mention in the past the name Steve Biko, Biko, but you may not know who he is. So, a recent story happened that I thought I would mention who he is, and on the small world problem, how we are all connected in so few links. So Steve Biko is someone that I first learned of in 1987, I believe. So I was a young man. I went to see a movie called Cry Freedom, which recounted the story of how Donald Woods, who became a friend of, he was a white South African, became a friend of Steve Biko. And Steve Biko was a anti-apartheid uh, activist who was developing the movement of black consciousness. And I remember I'd seen the movie. I was very, very inspired by Steve Biko. I mean, yes, of course, because he was fighting against a very cruel regime, apartheid. But because, as you, if anybody who follows my work, I always implore people to be honey badgers. And in 1987, here I was seeing this honey badger that became uh, an exemplar of what it is to speak out, knowing that things can go wrong for you. As you may know, Steve Biko was eventually tortured and killed by uh, the apartheid regime. And the movie Cry Freedom recounts that story. And I ended up picking up, shortly after seeing the movie, a book called I Write What I Like, which I reference, by the way, in The Parasitic Mind. I write what I like. I mean, it can't be more simple than that, right? You're not going to stop me from speaking my mind. And so he struck me as someone who just had this incredible dignity, poise. He knew who he was. And then, you move on in your life, and 35 plus years later, I want to show you something. This is incredible. So here, if you could see Biko, the biography by Donald Woods. My wife and I had gone to see a person that we know. We had originally met at one of the local cafes. She has a book antiquarian business, and she had kindly invited me to go there and see if there were any books that I was interested in. And I asked my wife to come with me. And as we were sitting there, my wife shows up to me and says, "Hey, look what I found." She knew that I was a fan of Biko. She said, so this is a book from, maybe 45 years ago, which I'm now devouring. You could see I'm right here in the book. And as I was reading the book, which by the way is fantastic, I came across an individual in the book. Her name is Dr. Mamfela Ramfele, who is a medical doctor, but also a PhD. I think she was the chancellor of the University of Cape Town. And Donald Woods, who has since passed away, is recounting how he first met her. She was a colleague of Steve Biko's in the 70s. Uh, and so I thought, wow, I want to look up this individual and maybe reach out to her. And so I sent her an email. Within a few hours, her assistant wrote back to me and said that she was traveling, but that once she comes back, she'll put it on her calendar. So 1987, I read a book. Well, I read a book by Biko after seeing the movie of his trajectory fighting apartheid. I mentioned Biko in The Parasitic Mind. We're rummaging through all these incredible antiquarian books. We come across the bio of Biko. I start reading it. I find the character. I reach out to her, and hopefully she will be coming on my show. That's the magic, the connectivity of the world. Not only are we connected by ideas, by universal brotherhood, by just a few links. So here I am potentially in a few days speaking to someone who knew Steve Biko personally. Now, it doesn't matter whether you agree with his politics or not. I mean, most people would certainly agree with the fact that apartheid was a bad regime. He's a real historical figure who died very, very young. So I would really urge you to learn more about him. These are the types of folks that shape society. And so I'm very much looking forward to talking with the good doctor from South Africa, hopefully next week. So there you have it, folks. Life is beautiful. Life is a playground. Get out there and make meaningful connections. Cheers, everybody.